What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Burnout Bobby YouTube channel. I know it's been a minute since I've been riding, and this is actually the first video on the 2020 Honda Grom. If you have not seen any videos about this Grom, go back into build series. I've done some videos on installing the parts from the Ruckus shop on here. It's a 2020 Honda Grom with about 270 miles. Lowered, stretched, exhaust, the chip intake. When I say chip, I just mean like a tune ECU from I think it is DHM, which I will say made a night and day difference, so very, very pleased with that. Today's video, we are working on the Ruckus, as the title states. The only thing is I have to go get a part that I left at the shop. So I figured, why not take the Grom today? As you see, it's kind of muggy, gloomy out. It's gonna rain soon, so I wanted to get this out and do that beforehand. So what I forgot was the lug nuts for the wheel. So I have the modified Kimco hub on there with the wheel attached, and I left the lug nuts at the shop. So I need those. You're probably also wondering, why are you riding your Grom, dude? I am riding the Grom because the Ruckus it's technically gone. I mean, it's at my house waiting for the delivery company to come pick it up, but it's gone, man. Somebody took it home with purchasing one of those stickers. So congratulations to that. I know he's going to enjoy it. I've talked to him a couple times now. He is going to keep it. He's going to take good care of it. He knows what he has, and I appreciate that. That was one of my concerns, was that if somebody was to get the bike, they would how they would treat it, and I feel safe that it's in the right hands. Granted, it's not mine. He could do what he wants. He could leave it outside, but he's not going to, and I'm happy for that. Another thing is, I gotta say thank you to all of you. Like, thank you to everyone who took part in it, buying the stickers, and having a chance to take my Honda Ruckus. Because when I was doing the winner, I was looking at all the comments in the bottom afterwards, and everybody was just super supportive. So that just shows that, like, this community is tight. Like, I know there is some negativity. There's always going to be that. There's always people like that. But I want to say thank you guys. Like, that was awesome. Like, seeing everybody congratulating him, saying, wow, awesome, this is great. That was really cool to see, because typically there's always one negative comment, or at least one. There could be more than one, but you guys just nailed it with, like, all the positivity, and that was awesome. And I've had actually a couple of people reach out to me, say, like, wow, man, like, you're following your subscribers, they were so positive, and, you know, congratulating the guy. And I'm like, yeah, well, got a good group of people with me here. We all love the same thing and respect each other, and if there's anyone that's negative, you just push them to the side, man. Don't let them faze you. But yeah, he should be getting the Ruckus next week if all goes to plan. So I'm gonna have him do some videos and stuff like that of him receiving the bike, and then maybe go for a ride. He's actually from my home state up in Connecticut, but he's probably about, I don't know, I've never been to his area there. I'd say maybe like an hour away from where I used to grow up. So whenever COVID resides and, you know, I can go see my family again, I plan on, if he's alright with it, plan on meeting up with him and maybe doing a video with him with it, and see his get his review on the bike, see what he thinks. You know, I've had a lot of people locally see it, they love everything like that. And, you know, Lee Baker, Ruckstyle UK, he came down, he rode my bike for a solid 8 hours, he loved it. But to get like another outside opinion is always good. And I will be working on my new build pretty soon. I plan on having it done for the Smoky Mountain small bore ride. So with doing that, maybe try to do like a unveiling of it at the ride. That'd be cool. If not, I'm just gonna take the Grom, do some riding with the Grom there. But if you haven't gone, it is in June. I believe it's like June. I'm going up June 10th, but I think it's June 11th and 12th. Get up there, set it aside, make some plans. You know, a lot of people haven't traveled in the last year or so, so if you get the opportunity, throw the bike in the back of a truck, get a rental truck, go out there. There's campgrounds, there's tons of places you can stay, so check that out. We will be doing a tent. We're going to be hosting the I think we're hosting the bike show, so we're going to do like the best in show, all the different classes. Your boy's gonna be a judge, so excited about that. Alright, I'm pulling up to the shop now, so when we come back I will be home already, and I'll show you what's going on with the 49cc project at home. We're back at my house. I got the lug nuts like I promised, so I'll show you what's going on here. I got the wheels back from powder. They look insane. Let's go ahead and get these So usually what happens when you do a fatty with the 49cc motor on the Ruckus, you run into a fitment issue right here. So what you do is you have to grind the outside of the dipstick tube like so, and then what I typically do is go to a smaller dipstick. This one is a GY6 dipstick, so I can put that one on. There we go. I was even in frame, so I could put that dipstick on and it clears. What I'm going to do is I have the wheel on here now. I was checking fitment from the grinding spot. I have some clearance. I actually think I want to do a little bit more, and then I'll touch it up with some black paint. I just want to account for some room if depending on what the tire pressure is when it fills up, because right now I'm at like 20 psi in here. So I'm going to take the wheel back off, grind it down a little bit more, and then keep working from there. Alright, so the wheel is on the bike. I've shaved the case a little bit more, painted it, let the paint dry. I'll go ahead and show you that right now. Let's see here. So see, there's probably a little over a 1/4 inch of clearance between. That's where we're at. The wheel is on. It looks amazing with the pro bolts in there. The bike is finally off the center stand. I raised the shock up just a little bit higher. We'll see how it sits once I get the front wheel on, which I'm going to get to next, and do the bleeding of the brakes, which is everybody's favorite part.
Yeah, yeah. And you don't stop, and you won't stop. Yeah, and you don't stop, and you won't stop, and you don't stop. And you don't stop, and you won't stop.
So you can see I have the Yoshi carbon for the fatty from the Ruck Shop on there for the 49cc. They modified the factory carbon so that it has that nice rake to it and clears the rear wheel so you get to see all that dish. I'm going to go ahead and finish bolting up the seat frame, all this stuff. I checked to make sure that the speakers are charging, which they are, or at least the battery's charging while the speakers are running, so at least that's good. So I can tidy that up and then put the battery box on, and after that we get to everybody's favorite part, which is tuning. I enjoy it because I like getting the best I can out of it. Let's put it as ISO. It's too bright. So like I was saying, the tuning part is my favorite because I like to see what I can get out of it. The rider is probably lower to mid 200 pound range. So I'm gonna have to go a little bit lighter weights than I'm used to. So what technically would get me into the 50s won't work for someone that's a little bit heavier for me, and vice versa. If someone was lighter than me, it wouldn't work as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the weights. Usually I'd start off with 5.5s for someone that's about 160, 170 in that range. For this one, I am going to go to 4.5s. It's gonna be lighter, what you want for a heavier rider, someone in the 200, 220 range. I say heavier because it's heavier than me, not just heavier in general. But you go lighter on the weights to accommodate for the weight of the rider. I've done this in a video before that a lot of you have seen. And this is going to help spin the crank faster to get the RPMs up and essentially get your mile per hour up. So that's the goal with this. We have the TVR intake, the carb has been rejetted, we have the Plini variator, NCY dry face, factory belt, which I like the best, stock clutch, and the Yoshi pipe, if I haven't already said that. Oh, and NCY CDI. So with all that on there, my goal is to get into the high 40s, low 50s. I'm not sure if I'll see it personally on me with these weights, but when I give the bike back to the customer and he gets to take it out for a ride, I can at least see what he is doing in the mile per hour range, and then I can adjust to that. That's my goal. Like I said, now I'm going to go ahead and get back to the bike, finish up the front here, make sure everything is Loctited, tightened down, check the tire pressure. All of this is a must before you do the first ride. Make sure there's no leaks from the banjo fittings, which I will go over shortly about bleeding the brakes. I know I've done a couple videos on it. I found a super easy way to doing it. Thanks to Bert, our welder, I got a new pro tip for you guys. So we will go over that shortly and get back to the time lapse.
And you don't stop, and you won't stop. And you don't stop, and you won't stop.
Okay, so you can see it is all good to go. This bike is done and ready. I haven't gone too much detail about this. I really wanted to get this bike done quickly. I have a couple more builds coming up. I didn't rush this one. This was a 3-week process. But as you can see, wheels are on there. Got the black Kimco hub. Got the lugs. The Yoshimura carbon fiber fatty exhaust. Has nice clearance for the fatty. Comes up at the angle. Did the rear sets with the red washers, red pegs, red dress up kit. Did the JBL speakers, which I said does not put any drain on this battery, which is huge. You can still charge. We have the red diamond suede seat. Gotta love that. Ruckshop bars with controls, factory controls, just shaved and powder coated. Trail Tech Vapor, my favorite gauge. I also, what you can see right here, did a little switch, and when that's on, I have white LEDs for under that run along the rear frame and go underneath the paneling there, just to make it pop a little bit. He wanted a little LED action, so your boy gave it. And the button is pretty, it all matches. So the floorboard, the button matches, so it kind of hides it a little bit. The speakers match it. Kind of gives it like a really clean feel to it. You got mirrors on each side. This is all, I cut the tabs off the headlight bracket so the handlebars will clear. Did the LED bulbs in there. Adeline front end kit from the Ruck Shop with the 12. Did the 4-piston caliper with the black caliper with the red Adeline and kind of give it some contrast. Did the TRS block off plate. As you can see there, painted the motor black. NCY drive face, powder coated that black. Got the Polini variator. Right, this has a 4.5, 5.5 gram combo in it. Jetted the carb with the TVR intake. Basically, it's the stage 2 kit from the Ruck Shop. That's what I have on there. Have the 12.5 inch fatty stretch from the Ruck Shop, powder coated gloss black. Also did the low boy low down shock. I raised it up a little bit because I'm 160 pounds. I think the rider's a little bit more than me, so I'm raise it up, give it some more height so that you don't have to worry about header clearance if you hit bumps or anything. And then I tighten up the rebound on the coil, make it a little bit better. It's simple, it's clean. It's a little bit of OEM, a little bit of not. It's got that fair mix to it. The reason why we kept the stock taillights is it's very visible in the rear. So, especially here in Florida when you're riding, you want to be seen. People get in accidents all the time down here, so did that. I actually switched the bulbs that are inside of it to LEDs. So, it's going to be a little bit brighter too on top of that. If in the future he wants to chop it off and do a light bar, we can always do that. So that's not an issue. I'll go ahead and start it up so you guys can hear it. There you have it. It's a finished product. You can hear it. The speakers are very loud. I don't know how it was on the camera with the bike running, but I want to keep the bike running when I do run the speakers so that I can keep a charge. I did put a tender on here, or the tender pigtail, so that we can make sure that it's on the tender when it's off. I always like doing that. It's like a precaution. I had it on my Grom, both my Rucks, so it's not a bad deal to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this build series. I know it was a short one, but there are 2 more coming up before I do my next build for me, and my next keeper. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I appreciate all the support with this. Thank you guys.